Hi everyone, I'm Terry and I'm nuts about stamping. I'm back today with another Sundays with Sizzix project. I'm going to create a beautiful note card with the help of my Big Shot and the Better Together stamp set. It's actually a set of 2, so you get 19 stamps in here, and it's really a fun stamp set. And I'm going to use a brand new product, well at least it's new to me because it just came in an order recently, that I'm going to use with my Big Shot that will add a really beautiful detail to the card. My card base is going to be Pool Party. I've cut it 8.5 by 5.5. I scored it on the 4 1/4 mark, and that's going to be my card base. To that, I'm going to add a layer of Whisper White cardstock. And here's my new product. It's called the Tufted Dynamic Textured Impressions Embossing Folder. So, like you see, I just got it. So let's have a look at it. So it's a dynamic folder, which means that it's a lot more thick than our regular kind of folders, which requires a special kind of platform and setup for your Big Shot. So I'll get that organized and then I'll show you what it looks like when we emboss the Whisper White cardstock through this embossing folder. Now, because this folder is a dynamic folder, it means it's a lot thicker than our other folders. So you use, as I've already said, a different kind of setup. So for this kind of dynamic folder, and we have several dynamic folders in the catalog, you're going to use the Big Shot platform. Then you're going to put your cardstock inside the folder, put the Stampin' Up! Logo so that you can see it, and you want the crease or the fold of the folder to go through the Big Shot first. Then you only use one standard cutting pad and you run it through your Big Shot. And this is where the magic happens. Have a look at this. Isn't that just amazing? I mean, it's called a tufted folder, and indeed, you can see that there's tufts on this folder, which gives it a nice puffy look. This is the other side. I like this side though because of the little dots, but you can choose what you like. So I've got that layer and it's ready to attach to my card base, so let's do that. I'm going to use my snail adhesive. And I'm going to attach this to the card base like so. And then I have a scrap piece of the Twinkle Twinkle Designer Series paper, and I'm going to use my punch here, and I'm going to slide in my cardstock or my Designer Series paper. I'm going to punch the end. And look at that, it makes a beautiful banner in one easy step. So I'm going to add that to my card in a minute. But first let's do some stamping, because I probably will want to figure this all out as a layer, because I'm making this up as I go along. So let's try doing some stamping. I've got the Just a Note phrase, and I'm going to use some Pool Party ink. Ink up the Just a Note, stamp it down, and then I'm going to set up my Big Shot, this time using the magnetic platform, because I'm going to use my Stitched Shapes Framelits dies, which, because they're metal, if I use the magnetic platform, they tend to attract to the platform and not shift when I'm rolling it through. So I'm going to use one of the ovals, and I want my top standard cutting pad. So this, let's just review this. So I've got my magnetic platform, my bottom standard cutting pad with the cardstock and the die on top, top standard cutting pad, and then I'm going to run it through. And hopefully you can see the stitched outer bit to it. So let's do a little bit more stamping. In the same stamp set, the Better Together stamp set, there's these little stars. So I think what I'll do is I will stamp off and then stamp on, stamp off, and stamp on. So I'm going to put a star above the phrase and below the phrase. And let's bring in everything. So now I think I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach my banner like so. I'm going to add the phrase layer, that's the stitched oval. Let's see, I think I'll move it down a little bit. Like so. And then I have some Pool Party and Silver baker's twine, and I think what I'll do is make a bow like so, and I'll grab my scissors and my mini glue dots and we'll finish this off. All right, so I made a bow using the baker's twine, and then I just trimmed off the ends with my paper or my ribbon cutting scissors. And now I'm going to take a mini glue dot. I'm going to press the knot of the bow onto the dot and then lift it off. Lifts off very easily. And then I'm going to add my bow at the top like so. And that will finish off my card. So I have a really beautiful note card idea to send to a special friend. For a complete listing of the supplies that I used and the measurement for all of the layers, please hop over to my blog, www.nutsaboutstamping.com. While you're on my blog, subscribe to my free newsletters. I send a newsletter every week with a project you won't see anywhere else. And there's also a Shop Now button on my blog. I would appreciate it if you are going to place a Stampin' Up! Order, if you would consider me as your demonstrator. I'm Terry. I am Nuts About Stamping. I'll see you soon with another Sizzix project. Bye for now.